Awesome. And then you touched briefly on the fantasy sports side of things, that Crown League, and getting into the gaming side of things. So what does that look like, for the next NFL season as far as launching some of that fantasy sports monetization?
So this is a really special league, one of a kind. I think we found a great white space in the fantasy sports business. This will be a geo-based league, just like the NFL. So you'll have teams in specific cities or states. We look forward to announcing those in the next couple of months. You'll have front offices. As I've always said, those front offices would be populated with professional fantasy players, maybe Hall of Famers, maybe celebrity NFL alumni, sales and marketing. And so the point here is you now have teams, and you can stake. We did a partnership with Stake Kings. You can stake those teams, sort of having a quasi ownership in those teams yourself. And as those teams win, or as they have sponsors or they have merchandise that they sell, if there's a media show wrapped around this, if there's sports betting that you can do now that these teams can literally play each other virtually, it's really exciting to think about how this can be monetized. And so we plan on continuing a series of activations over the next several months, including, as I said, the announcement of the teams, then the front offices, and then the ability to stake those teams in your particular city or your particular state. And then hopefully, as we work towards gaming partnerships and sports betting partnerships, have the ability to actually activate, around making a bet on your team. And so it really does follow the NFL model. And I think one that people will just be excited about. They'll be in a community of fans cheering for their team. You won't have to go to 10 different websites looking where your players are and looking for their stats. We'll do all of that for you. Completely mobile, a lot of technology wrapping this. And it's a community-based type of fantasy experience. The Hall of Fantasy League, I think, will just continue to grow, and we're excited to launch it this year.
Awesome. So you talked about sports betting a couple times there in that response. So my question is, so obviously looking to monetize the fantasy sports side of things with possible sports betting there. Are you looking broad-based at applying for a license for sports betting if it's legalized in Ohio, to where people would be able to bet from your properties? Is that something that has been discussed?
It has. And we've actually had several discussions with multiple different gaming companies. Of course, I can't talk about those today, but you pointed out accurately that sports betting is still illegal here in Ohio. But as I said, as you think about launching a fantasy league with different franchises in different cities or states where gambling may be legal, we might be able to activate that sooner as opposed to later. But it's absolutely our intention. Look, I think sports betting has become one of those ways in which fans really enhance their experience. They like the betting aspect. It's no longer this thing that has a stigma attached to it. It really does, and as I said, enhance the way in which guests enjoy professional sport. And so our intention, albeit, when it is legalized, is to pursue a partnership that would allow us to have those types of activations and those types of experiences for our fans here on site and virtually as well.